Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another week. I've got some sad news though. The mullet has gone. Went for a new look. There is no longer a mullet. How do you feel about it, Ian?
It is dead. It is deceased. It is an ex-mullet.
The mullet is gone. Long live the mullet.
It's like that Monty Python sketch about the mullet, isn't it? Or the parrot or whatever it was. It is deceased. It is no more.
But we are still the Mullet Show. We are on the Full-Time Sports Network. And we go again.
Never give up on us. Now we're on the road to you. Right now, all our dreams can be made. And we'll be kings of football again. England! England!
Say hello. Say hello.
Hello.
Again,
Hello.
back on the show again. She doesn't like being picked up though. She's biting me now.
It's a kitten show, Dan.
Seeing all those mullets makes me a bit upset that it's gone. But
yeah, it is like that. The dead mullet sketch. Was it
the dead mullet show?
Norwegian Blue. He's not dead. He's pining for the field. Pining for the fields. That's it. The mullet is dead.
The good thing about mullets is they can grow back. Honestly, my hairdresser was so gutted. She's like, I've never been so upset. And I was like, that's probably the worst feedback I've had from a hairdresser. But look, the mullet will return, so do not worry about that. Ian, it's a pleasure to have you back. How you been, mate?
Yeah, good. Kind of working hard, but watching quite a bit of football. Shivering in the weather.
We're going to talk about a lot of football today. And just a quick word on our sponsor on the Full-Time Sports Network. We are sponsored by Global Mapping Surveys. The Global Mapping Surveys company assists architects, property developers, and construction companies all over the country. So if anyone needs anything to do with architecture, the Global Mapping Surveys are the ones to go to. Reach out to my man, Adam. He's a legend. And obviously, my favorite thing is the 3D laser scanning. I don't even know what it is, but it just sounds bloody cool. Anything with lasers in the name is great. Also, I'm going to put the ticker along the bottom. So if you need any information, it's there. And there it is, laser scanning. Love it. So big up.
You ask about this laser scanning. It's like, because they use lasers for repairing your eyes, don't they? And they do hair removal. Loads of girls use laser hair removal.
Exactly. And also they use it in Austin Powers when he's like, give me some freaking lasers. Mutated sea bass. We couldn't get any sharks. We got some mutated sea bass. Some freaking lasers. Anyhow.
Pining for the fields.
Pining for the mullet.
Yeah.
So
it is no more. It is deceased.
That is. So cracking on. We always like to do a fun one to start with. Oh, Anthony's back. Hey, Anthony, you all right? Big up, Oliver. You had your haircut. I need a name, a number, and I'll get the money back. We need the mullet. Yeah, well, there we go. It will grow back, Anthony. Don't you worry. I will get it back. So we always like to start with a fun one. And I've just been getting really annoyed by pundits recently. So this section is called Rate the Pundit. Okay, so you don't know any of the pundits I've picked, Ian. I picked some good ones, some bad ones.
Throw them at me.
So I just want your honest opinion on it, but please be as brutal as possible.
I will. I
just
think
makes it
most
more
of them are plonkers. Most of them are real plonkers.
Yeah, we can say that. So my most hated pundit at the moment, which is why I did the skin.
Yeah, go on.
Jamie O'Hara.
Jamie O'Hara, yeah.
Jamie O'Hara.
He has a lot to say for himself, doesn't he?
He does. I just find him infuriating. I swear he just does it to get the clicks.
And he was a naff player as well.
Yeah, he wasn't even that good. But, you know, he hates Arsenal, which I get, but some of his opinions on things, I just think he's just a bit of a knob. You know what I mean?
I do listen to TalkSport, and they go for the kind of shock jock approach. Do you remember that phrase, shock jock? It's who else they have on there? Simon Jordan, and they have Agbon Lahore. He was a very average player, for goodness sake. But he seems to have an opinion on everything. Who else do I listen to on there? Oh, Chris Sutton sometimes.
Oh, I hate Chris Sutton. I didn't even put him in here, but Chris Sutton's an absolute bellend.
Unnecessarily aggressive, isn't he?
Yeah, I know. I just don't know why, but it's like everything Jamie O'Hara says winds me up. But maybe that's why he is a pundit on there, because he's there just to wind me up. He's a knob. Haven't got a clue. Thank you, Anthony. He is a knob.
Has a knob got a K in it?
A doorknob. So where would you rate on the scale of 1 to 10 Jamie O'Hara's, I don't know, football views?
He's an 8 out of 10 knob for me.
He's an 8 out of 10 knob. Oh, I like it. We're on the knob scale.
Knobometer.
I would push up to 10 for Jamie O'Hara. He is a proper knob.
I've got to score him as 8 because I've got to leave some room. I've got to leave some room for some of the serious knob heads.
I mean, but the thing is, he came out with, he was like, Nottingham Forest are embarrassing. And it's just like, mate, Nottingham Forest aren't, a lot of teams are going to come to Arsenal and win the game. Like, they weren't embarrassing. They just didn't play that well. You know what I mean?
It was the first or second game it was an early game up in the Premier League after all those years away. You got all those new players. Come on, give them a break.
Yeah, no, we like the manager of Forest, don't we? We like him.
Cooper. We think he's great. Gollum,
that's what we do. We like him, though. We're a big fan of him on the show.
Him. He is like Mr. Nottingham.
That's why we're upset that Jamie O'Hara had a go. Anthony's saying 9 on the knobometer, we're going to call it. Yes, definitely. I'm going with 10 because I hate him. But like I say, everything he does infuriates me. Okay, next one. We had to do him, didn't we? Gary Neville. What are we thinking?
What am I thinking? I'm thinking sanctimonious, hypocritical, sensationalist with his head so far up his bottom, it nearly sticks out of his mouth. He's a 10 on the knobometer for me. He has all these political views. Oh, let's go to the Labour Party. Let's go to the Labour Party conference and talk about welfare for people and looking after.
Hang on. Ian, we don't do politics.
He's going to Qatar to work for the Qatar radio station after all the human abuse out in Qatar, and he has the audacity to claim that he's a socialist and stands up there at the Labour Party conference. He's a sanctimonious, hypocritical knob.
I actually used to like him. I used to think he was pretty good, but it was when he started getting into other stuff that one of my friends just said like his views just got a bit lazy, and he's just like. He comes out with stuff now. I'm just like, that is so not true. What football game have you been watching? You know what I mean?
Did you see Ronaldo blanked him at the interview the other night? But and yet, as a player, Neville wasn't even fit to lace Ronaldo's boots. He should never do that. He should show an awful lot more respect than that. But he has these. What Neville? I don't know whether he's been coached in this.
Hang on a sec. Did you say Neville blanked Ronaldo or Ronaldo?
No, Ronaldo blanked Neville.
But didn't they play in the same team?
Yeah, yes, they did. And they should be old buddies. And Ronaldo's a United legend and all that. But Neville's insulted him so many different times.
Oh, right. I think that's what Anthony's saying, Ronaldo's best friend. But yeah, I mean, everyone's having a go.
That's the expression, he'd sell his mother for, a few more bob from, the television companies.
That's it. And I used to think he was really good. And then he just progressively got worse. So I would have said he was about a 2 on the knobometer at first.
And he also gets an extra point for having a dad called Neville.
Yeah, I mean, come on. So Anstey's gone for a 10 on the knobometer. I don't think he's reaching a 10 for me yet. I think I'm going to sit him at an 8 because I still think sometimes he does some good stuff.
10.
No, you're going 10. You're going to, but Jamie, you gave
really
Jamie O'Hara an 8. I mean, you can't rate Neville over Jamie O'Hara, surely.
Yeah,
No?
I do. He's just so much in your face with rubbish, and he uses these. The way he talks, he puts big emphasis. He makes it sound really serious, as though he's really intelligent. But actually, when you actually dissect the words he's saying, he's an imbecile. But he has a way of saying. Yeah, but he has a way of talking with the inferences on the beginning and the end of the sentence that makes him sound, assertive and knowledgeable and intellectual.
He loves the sound of his own voice. This is one I really like, actually, and she's on TalkSport. It's Laura Woods. I mean, she's great.
Yeah,
I really like her.
When I've heard her, she's good.
I dig. I mean, it might be because she's an Arsenal fan as well, but she usually puts Jamie O'Hara in his place, which is good.
I don't know if you've got any. I don't know if he's coming up, but one of my favourite pundits is Alan Smith, Smudger Smith. The old Arsenal Brummie. I love listening.
One of my earliest memories was him scoring.
As well as being really knowledgeable about the game, he just has this slightly kind of lazy, Brummie, laid backness to him, a bit like Adrian Charles on 5 Live. And it's just so easy to listen to. It's really kind of caramelly.
He did make the list, to be fair. They did make the list. I've got quite a few.
I like Smudger.
I do like Laura Woods. Big up if you're watching, Laura. We love you. And keep putting Jamie O'Hara in his place because he's a 10. I like Laura Woods that much. I wouldn't even give her anything on the knobometer. I think she's a 0 for me. What would you give her?
Do you fancy her, Ollie? You fancy her?
No, of course I'm not. I'm married.
Just checking. Just checking. You seem very keen.
She's lovely. She's lovely. She's good. I do like her a lot. To be fair, there's more men in this list than there are women. I think there should be more women.
I like Laura. I like her a lot.
There we go. All right. What about this one? Michael Owen.
Oh, Jesus. Where do I start with him? I mean, first, he is just desperately not very bright. He's just dim, some of the things he says and utterly he's probably, of all the pundits, the one that comes out with the most inane, nonsensical sentences that just don't mean anything.
Honestly, his views, he hates Arsenal as well. To be fair, most pundits hate Arsenal, which means it makes me easier to hate them. But he hates us. Yeah, you can clearly tell. But it's just his voice annoys me. His voice is so annoying.
Yeah, but he's the least bright pundit, and he says some real donkey things.
I don't know. I don't think Jamie O'Hara is very bright either.
But Laura's very nice. She's lovely.
We love Laura, mate. Laura is. If you're watching, Laura, we love you. Okay, you have mentioned him before. This guy's actually, we haven't rated Michael Owen on the knobometer yet.
Michael Owen is always up there with Neville. I don't even know. Let's give him 9 for being just
9.
He's not offensive. He's just dim.
He did, yeah. That's a good point. He's not that offensive.
No.
He's just a bit annoying,
Yeah.
This guy though is a proper knob.
Simon Jordan.
Simon Jordan, isn't it?
Yeah, and an ex-chairman of Crystal Palace. There's nobody else who's come from that area of the game, is there? Who's become a pundit? I can't think of any other ex-chairman.
Did anyone really like him when he was the chairman at Palace?
Yeah, I think he did lots of good things, but he's no Steve Parish.
Who's Steve Parish?
The current chairman.
Really? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's excellent. He's really.
Why did Simon Jordan leave then? Did he get sacked?
Oh, I don't know. My pals are going to kill me for this. I don't. No. I think he financially took it as far as he could, and
has he got a lot of money then?
I think he's not short of a bob.
He's not short of a few.
When I was last at Palace, actually, early on in the season, and Steve Parish, the current chairman, he drove past the supporters and into the fenced off nice car park, and he had, what was it? It was this incredible like vintage.
Ian, I was with you.
Vintage Mercedes on vintage Porsche.
I was with you. Remember?
Oh yeah, you were there. He drove past us. Of course he did, didn't he? Come on. So why do you say who's Steve Parish then? He drove past you. He did have a lovely car,
I'm not. You teach me stuff because I'm not great on. I know he's Arsenal's chairman, but I don't really know who anyone else is. I might, know a few things, but yeah, I'm pretty bad in that. I learned most of my stuff from you guys. So yeah, big up Steve Parish. Maybe we can get him on the show in his lovely. But I mean,
was it a Mercedes or a Porsche he was in? It was a 1950s one, wasn't it? It wasn't 1960s.
Like coming out James Bond. Lasers. Give me some freaking lasers. But why is he on TalkSport? If he's got a load of money, why is he on TalkSport? It's just because he likes the sound of his own voice. Yeah.
And when I've heard him, he's always on the way to the airport, isn't he? He's forever on the way to the airport, phoning back in.
Just look at his face there. Look at that smug. I just want to punch him in the face.
He looks like a sober.
I hate him more than I
sober Paul Merson, doesn't he?
Like the photographer's like, all right, Simon, right, do your best pose. And he's going to go, well, I'm going to do the one when I put my hand on my chin. Is that good? Yes.
If that's a professional photo for his portfolio, you've got to be worried, haven't you? You've got to imagine.
He's got a shag band on his. He's got a shag band on his arm there.
But imagine what were the pictures like that didn't make the cut?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know why A, the photographer made him make that pose. B, he's wearing a shag band. I don't think it is a shag band. Did you remember what shag bands were? They were these bands we used to wear at school, and they were like rubber like that. And if you snapped it, you're like, oh, I have to shag that person. It does look like a shag band, but I think it's a charity band, so I'll give him that. But still, like, this is a professional picture.
It looks as though he's been like too long in the sauna or something. His face looks, yeah. You know when you have your hands in hot water in the bath for too long, his face, I don't know.
I just think it's the worst pose ever.
Boiled. His face looks boiled like a vegetable.
Yeah, no, his hair looks terrible. Like, sort your fringe out, mate. Look at the bit of fringe is hanging down. Anyway, we've got to move on because we're spending way too much time on this here.
He doesn't look much like Laura because she's lovely.
She's lovely. She's the best. Actually, though, there is someone I like more than Laura, and this is her. Sue Smith. I love her. She's great. Every time she's on the show, she's got a different haircut. Like, I call it Sue Watch. It's like, oh, what's Sue going to have a hair like today? She has had every hairstyle out there, and I just love it when she mixes it up.
Do you think? I thought she was like maybe the sister of Lee Hendry. The other pundit.
Ian, don't talk badly about Sue, all right? Because
I think she looks a little bit like Lee Hendry.
I'm not saying any bad words about Sue.
Because the brother and sister or something.
I think she's the best female pundit around, and simply because of her ever-changing looks that she has. Every time she's got a different look, she's got a different hairstyle.
Oh, right, okay. She's as lovely as Laura.
Well, I mean, she's lovely in a way that she changes her appearance. But, I mean, Laura, I don't know. It's tough. They're both two of my faves, actually. I think there need to be more female pundits because I think I like the female ones.
I've seen her in with, like, real spiky hair and, like, purple hair, and she goes for it.
That's it. Laura Wood's fantastic. Don't tell her missus. Don't worry, Anthony. We won't. Michael Owen, tosser. There we go. Well, so I'm not going to rate Sue Smith because, like I said, she's,
we have to classify. We have to clarify that comment from Anthony. We mean he likes making salad, yeah.
Yes, he's a salad tosser. I mean, to be fair, Ian, I don't think we get told off for saying tosser. Do you?
Okay. Well, anyway, if we did, it's a salad reference, isn't it?
We're very politically correct, right, on this show these days. We don't swear, we don't drink.
We have said knob a few times.
Yeah, I don't think knob's a swear word, though, is it?
I don't know.
I don't think you can class it.
If
that is, then we really should just end the show. Okay, there's only a few more to go. Oh, the hip flexor. Hip flexor. Hip flexor. Hip flexor. Sorry, I heard him talk about a hip flexor once, and that's my impression of Roy Keane. What are you thinking? You still there?
Right. Yeah, I'm just taking a breath before I can speak.
What's your views on Roy Keane?
Well, first of all, for someone who writes in his autobiography, he went out to maim a fellow professional. What?
Oh God, here we go. No, but more on his comment. As a comment,
he just wants to play the bogeyman. You know, he just wants to play the controversial because it pays him loads of money. You know, he just thinks he's tough, and he's still trying to be psycho. I think he's deranged. I'll be honest. I think he's deranged. Yeah, deranged.
What do you think of his tie? What do you think of his tie he's wearing in the net shot? It's a lovely tie. It's a lovely tie.
And what's with sometimes the beard's on and sometimes it's off, and he grows it really quickly. If he can grow a beard, if you can grow a mullet back as faster than he can grow a beard.
That's true. That's true. He has got a pretty almighty beard, and when he's got the beard out, he does look like a glammed up homeless person. Roy Keane, good. He knows what he's on about and says it how it is. There we go. I think Anthony likes Roy Keane. There we go.
He's 10 on the knobometer for me. With never.
I don't know. I'm going to go midway with Roy Keane because I don't find him as offensive as some of the others, and he is good value for money.
I'm wondering who your last one is. Can I shout out to the guys I do like? I like Glenn Hoddle. I think he's a good commentator.
I don't like Hoddle. I don't like what he said.
Danny Murphy. I think Danny Murphy.
I don't like his holistic mix.
I like Micah Richards, and I
I wasn't going to put the ones in that we really liked. All right, what about these two bellends?
I really do truly believe they are dinosaurs. They are extinct beasts. They are.
Yeah, they're horrible people. I want to say some very harsh words about them, but yeah, look at them. I mean, come on. What about this guy?
Well, I used to really like Graham Souness. To me, he was very assertive, very strong on his opinions without being psychopathic like Roy Keane. I used to really like him. I'm worried about him at the moment because whenever I've seen him, he had these major heart operations when he was quite young. Just after being a player.
He was talking about that.
And about 10 years ago, he was on TV and he was really yellow, and everyone was worried about him. But I saw him last week on TV.
The yellow days.
And I thought he looked really ill. I thought he looked really ashen.
Well, maybe he just had a cold that day. Yeah, he just had a cold.
I'm worried about it.
So what we talking Keane on the ometer?
Oh, he's dreadful. He's off the scale.
Souness, sorry.
Oh, Souness. No, I think Graham Souness is all right.
All right, we like Graham Souness. He's all right. We have 3 or 4.
No, he's nothing. He's not a knob.
Right, I wouldn't. He's definitely got some.
Okay, he has some off days. He does have some off days where he says something. But what worries me a little bit is this political correctness. I mean, you and I wouldn't last 5 minutes, but
hang on a sec. We're the most politically correct show on YouTube these days.
Well, he got condemned for saying, and it was taken out of context. That's the important bit. He said, "Oh, it's a man's game about some kind of." I think it was some hard play or tackle or whatever. Yeah. It was taken out of context. And on that basis, I think Sky are trying to shunt him into early retirement.
I don't think they will, but you have got to be careful these days. You have got to be careful because
but at the same time, you've got to retain a realism about the context of the conversation. You can't just.
Yeah, but he did have some of the women's World Cup team on at the time, or was it?
Yeah, I think he did actually.
So it's like, come on, mate. Don't go saying it's a man's game after the women's team done what the men's team have never been able to do.
Yeah, that's true.
You've got to think about that.
I don't like that. I just, when I heard it's like, you know, sometimes when there's a tackle that goes in and they play it all in slow motion, it looks far, 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 far worse than it really was. When actually they were just competing for the ball, and it was an honest challenge that, from a different camera angle, looks vicious. Well, that's how I felt about what Graham Souness said.
There we go, Graham. We've got your back, mate. We've got your back. And he says, never mind about these people. Oliver and Ian, all we need. God, I love you, Anthony. You're amazing. You're just the greatest. You're the greatest.
Do you know my middle name? You know my middle name is Anthony, by the way.
There we go, Anthony. Your middle name's Anthony. We're all on the same page here. All right, so that's the pundits. We'll keep an eye on what they say and maybe put some stuff in Bovril's bits when they do say it. And obviously, Sue and Laura, I love you, and like, yeah, you're amazing. So moving on, let's talk about some of the weekend's action. Chelsea got slapped up.
You've got to love football. You've got to love football, haven't you? I mean, football just has this way, you know, a manager, and I think he took it all over serious, you know. He got all uppity afterwards and said, you know, I've done a fantastic job. I didn't deserve them to boo me and stuff. He
did, yeah. I mean, I did think that was a bit harsh than booing him, though. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you're right. But, yeah, you're right. They didn't like it. And they booed. Who else? They booed someone else for some other reason as soon as he got bought. Anyway, can't remember. But Cucurella, wasn't it? But
I think the reason they lost that game is though Potter's had a kind of glam up, didn't he? And he was like looking really sexy in his polo necks and stuff. And then for that game, he had like a puffer gilet on, and I think that
he was trying to look like a Euro manager, wasn't he? Like Nagelsmann or whatever at Bayern Munich or someone like that.
That's it. I think that's what happened. But I just didn't see them getting. I mean, 4 goals they conceded.
I never saw it coming. But football's a beautiful game, isn't it? And it has a sense of humour and drama. You know, it's like the greatest plays or screenplays. Sometimes you think, how did that happen?
But the thing is, but Brighton haven't been able to buy a bloody win, and then you knew it was going to happen. But I'm now worried about Chelsea on Sunday because Potter. I think Potter beat Arsenal when he was managing. What was his team before? This is where my knowledge is really bad. Who was he managing before he went to Brighton? Like a Norwegian team, wasn't it? Anyway, I think they beat us. I think I was at the game. They beat us.
Yeah, Misserade.
I don't know. I'm going to do some research right now on Graham Potter.
But he is a good manager, just like Steve Cooper's a good manager, and just like Eddie Howe's a good manager. Great young English manager, and I'm very excited about that because that means hopefully for years to come, the England manager's job is in the hands of someone credible who's not who's English.
Yeah, look, this is funny. The first thing that comes up about Potter is Gabriel Blanc-Lahore turns his attention away from Jurgen Klopp as he slams Graham Potter. Good old Gabby.
Gabby. I mean, gee, he wasn't much of a player, and now he wants to tell the world about it.
He scored a few goals for England, though, Gabby, didn't he? 1 or 2.
Did he get an England cap? If he did, it was only like one.
Yeah, he did. Oh, God, I didn't even know Graham Potter was a player.
I didn't know Graham Potter was a player.
He was.
He didn't play for Stoke City, did he?
He played for Birmingham, Wickham, Stoke. He did play for Stoke.
Oh, don't forget the dad, Potter. Potters. Did he play for Stoke? So he was a Potter at the Potters.
There you go. And you thought that was just a joke. Ostersund. That was it. Ostersund.
Okay. Ostersund. Did you
what do you think what do you think? How do you think we'll do on Sunday against them? Anthony's just said Aubameyang's playing. You know Aubameyang's going to score.
Arsenal, Chelsea at Arsenal.
No, it's at Chelsea.
Well, I have to say, every time I think Arsenal will have a difficult game, like I thought Brentford would give them a tough time. I never saw that score this weekend coming. Who did you beat 5-0? Forest. On the back of Forest beating Liverpool. Every time I think, oh no, Arsenal are going to lose or drop a point, they actually played brilliantly and win it. So I don't know. The way Arsenal.
Well, hold on. We'll wait for the predictions on that.
I mean, I'd like City to go into the World Cup being top of the league, but and if Arsenal are going to hit a banana skin, you've got to say if Arsenal can win at Chelsea, everyone has to seriously consider them for as possible.
No one's considering us, but I like it that way. So here's another one.
When you start chipping away at some of the big clubs, I think when Arsenal lost to United, everyone was going, but you've only played jokers. But then you whipped the North London derby, and didn't you beat Liverpool?
We did, yes.
And you beat Liverpool. So everyone started to think, well, actually, what started as a bit of a joke isn't very funny anymore.
That's funny. That's classic. But yeah, who knows? I mean, I don't think Chelsea have been that good under Potter. My cousin was saying last night they haven't really played that well.
He's well into his rotation. He potters about, doesn't he? He potters with his formation. Both the formation, the players. You never know what team he's going to pick or what his strategy is going to be. I think sometimes maybe he overthinks it.
Anthony's asking, I'm a Gooner. You're a City fan. Who's going to win it?
One of us, I think.
You're going to say City. So.
I think it'll be close. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be, I'm feeling reasonably confident for City. But if Arsenal beat Chelsea at Chelsea, I'm going to start thinking, this is a bit worrying.
Well, my cousin was saying last night he thinks that we're going to absolutely wipe the floor with Chelsea. So, but then coming off the back of the last,
no Saka though.
He could be back, but it's fine. We got Reece Nelson, and Nelson's just.
So he scored two. Yeah,
he's a baller. So this must have made you happy. I couldn't believe it when it popped up.
I laughed my arse. I have to say, what was it, Saturday night, and I'd been out. And I got back in for the end of the game. Yeah, I laughed.
Do you feel sorry for them?
No, not even remotely.
I've got a feeling, though, that they could just go and win the Champions League because that's what Liverpool do. And then why would you care? You'd be like, oh, well, we came 8th in the league. Who cares? We won the Champions League.
Yeah, it would be sod's law, wouldn't it? Because then they get into the Champions League next season as well. And then they play in the World Tournament and all that sort of jazz. World Tournament with some dudes from South America. So they always call it a World Tournament, but I can't remember the Champions League winner ever losing.
No, I mean I think that's a joke cup anyway, really, isn't it? It's like the world, yeah, whatever it is. It's just like, what's the point? You know what I mean? I'd rather win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
What do you think's gone wrong with Liverpool then?
I think their midfield is forever changing because of injuries. Some of their midfielders I used to think were quite good, like Fabinho, seem to have completely lost the plot. And then, Trent Alexander-Arnold, again, I thought he was one of the best right backs in the world, and he seems to be make mistake upon mistake. And the centre-back pairing, I don't think they ever get a chance to put the same two centre-backs together game after game. So they've wobbled all over the place with the selection. But, because Klopp is such not opinionated, but forthright, in-your-face guy, you can't but enjoy it when he fails because he's such an over-the-top, obnoxious winner.
Who's that?
Klopp, Jurgen Klopp.
Klopp, that's true. I mean, I don't mind Liverpool. I quite like Liverpool. My good friend Liam's a Liverpool fan. So, but I mean, any team that loses in that top half is great for us because it's like, right, yeah, we're just a bit further ahead of them now. But every time we drop points, everyone else has dropped points. So
I did watch those two games against Forest and Leeds, and actually, Liverpool could have won both of those games if they got the rub of the green.
And he says Saka out, we will win 2-1. I would rather keep a clean sheet, to be fair. Can you see Klopp leaving?
That's an interesting one.
Says, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, sir.
Hi, Al. Can I see Klopp leaving? Maybe. Yeah. I tell you what will be the shockwaves one is if Barcelona get rid of Xavi, and there's lots of murmurings there, who will they go looking for?
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because, who's out there? Pochettino?
Oh, no, he's not won anything. Surely Barcelona wouldn't trust themselves with him.
He did win the French league and everything, didn't he?
Zidane would never go there after Real Madrid. I don't know.
Give it to Graham Potter. That's what I say.
Didn't Arteta start at Barcelona?
Tuchel. Hey, don't say that.
Oh, Tuchel. Yeah, good call. Anthony could be right there.
Don't say Arteta. Arteta is our man. You keep your
Did he not start as a youth player at Barcelona?
He did. Yes, he did.
Just a thought.
Do you think Liverpool will continue to drop points, or do you think they will start winning again? Because I thought they were back on that trend, and now, getting beat by Leeds.
They've got a comfortable. I think they're playing Southampton. They've got two comfortable games before they. I think they're at home to Stoke in the League Cup, and they've got the Potters. And sorry, no, home to Derby in the League Cup. They're away at Spurs, aren't they? This Sunday, and then they're at home to Southampton.
So they're away to Spurs.
Yeah,
that's going to be a good game.
Wow, what's happening to Spurs tonight? Hang on,
it's 0-0 at the moment. So
is it?
Anthony makes a good point. Hey, Oliver, I think Arteta will be the next Man City manager after Pep. I think that's a good call. But hey, look, let's not worry about it yet.
Maybe, but maybe Vincent Kompany. You must be impressed. Burnley, top of the Championship, looking really good, really strong, playing some wonderful football.
I don't watch the Championship, mate. Come on.
You've got to watch Vinny.
I don't watch the Championship.
Right, go on.
All right, next. This was your topic, actually. You want to talk about this.
Yeah.
First of all, I never knew they did this until you said this, that they do a 55-man squad first.
Yeah, I think they have to submit it a couple of weeks ago to FIFA.
55?
Yeah, and then next Thursday, they've got to cut it down to 26, I think it is. But they have to submit it, but they don't have to make it public. Right. So I think there's lots of speculation about who was submitted. So I can't remember, who did we say in that? There was...
I've got a picture here.
There was there was Danny Welbeck, who has played well every time I watched him. Lewis Dunk, you got to be. He's a very, very basic, straightforward centre back. Surely both of the two lads at Everton are better than him.
Surely with 55 people in it, it's just like, we'll just stick Lewis Dunk in there. He's never going to make it. We'll stick him in there anyway.
With 55 Englishmen to pick, maybe you and I should be a bit upset not to be included.
I don't know. Maybe as the seventh choice goalkeeper.
But James Maddison, I really like James Maddison. He's a great footballer. He's a player.
He won't make the final squad though, will he?
Maybe there's just a lot of choice midfielders. I think the key bit for the squad is at centre back and centre forward. Who's going to be covering with?
Surely Ben White has to get in there now.
Perhaps you're right, because I mean, I thought Gomez was going to find his way back into the team, and he played really well against City, and then he's been dreadful. But I do like the two. I like Cody and Tarkowski.
Is Walker still injured, or is he back?
He's not back.
Do you think he'll make it?
I don't know.
I don't think he's going to start.
He's not. He won't have played a game. He won't be game fit, will he?
I think he will start. I don't think he'll start Ben White. But we've discussed this before because it's the centre backs that I'm most worried about. But I would be happy if you had Stones, White, and I don't know, Cody or something like that.
Cody's good and Tarkowski's good and Tomori's good. Is it Tomori, the guy who used to be at Chelsea's over at Roma? Is it?
Yeah.
And apparently Chris Smalling's playing really, really well for Roma. Yeah, Roma.
He says Welbeck. Yeah, I love Welbeck. He's a good guy. Walker not in the World Cup.
Can Carl Wilson stay fit enough?
Walker's out.
Would you be brave enough to take Rashford, who occasionally puts his shooting boots on?
Rashford will go. Rashford will 100% be in the squad. In fact,
then Carl Wilson probably won't.
I could see Rashford.
Even Tony? Ivan Tony?
No, he won't make it. Not at all. I've heard people saying Callum Wilson, maybe.
Who did I say? I thought I said Callum Wilson, no?
You said Ivan Tony, did you not?
Not before that. I meant Callum
Wilson.
Terry
Abraham, Anthony said, but apparently Terry Abraham, my driving instructor, was saying has not been having a good season.
No. Callum Wilson's miles better than him.
But look, I mean, they'll definitely make the 55-man squad, put it that way.
55.
Oh, what? Is this guy still playing? We've got to throw Graham Potter in there as well.
Yeah.
Graham Potter makes 55-man squad. Brilliant. Well, I guess we'll wait and see. I'm still very excited.
Yeah. It's 20 days. England play on the 21st of November.
I can't wait. Obviously,
on the 1st of November. So it's literally 20 days.
I don't know. I'm probably being like, not sensitive to all the issues and stuff that it's had. But I'm a football lover. So, and having a World Cup in the winter, it's going to be great. We're not going to do very well. It's not going to be a good World Cup. Everyone's going to be
going to do. I don't know how the conditions will suit us or won't suit us.
I don't know. But it's just going to be cool to be like, it's nearly Christmas and there's still a World Cup on.
Well, it's going to be such a great month, isn't it? It's like all your Christmases together. The only problem is, what the hell are we going to do next summer? We're going to have nothing. It's going to be a desert.
Go down the pub and wait for the fixture list to come out, as they say, in Fever Pitch.
It's going to be a long summer, isn't it?
I love that bit in Fever Pitch when she goes, so do you want to go on holiday? Like, what do you usually do in the summer? And he's like, go down the pub, wait for the fixture list to go out. I think Oliver should get called up to make it a 56-man squad. Thank you, Anthony. But maybe before I got rid of the mullet, but I reckon now, they're probably not going to put me in there. Okay, so on to the weekend's predictions.
I can't remember whose first game out.
I've got it up here. I'm just going to pick a few, and then I want your predictions for that.
Oh, so you got Leeds, Bournemouth. I wonder if Leeds can keep that going. Man City, Fulham. Surely City will win that. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to pick out the ones that are easy though. I want to pick out the ones that could be.
Every time I watch Leicester, they seem to be getting better these days. Just want to point that out.
Let's just focus on Sunday. I think is the best day for football. So Chelsea, Arsenal. Who's winning that?
Draw 2 each.
Draw. Ugh. Aston Villa, Man United.
Oh God, Villa were really poor against Newcastle.
Yeah, the new manager bounce. Good evening is back.
Hooray, Emery.
Emery's back.
Villa, I think United will win that.
United.
Yeah. Villa aren't much cop at the moment. They're really not.
Anthony says, "I'll be watching the World Cup, but I won't enjoy it." I'm sure you will.
Newcastle are on the climb. They will win at Southampton.
Okay.
What about West Ham Crystal Palace?
So
that's
Anthony's gone Arsenal win, which I actually do think will win, but I think it's going to be tough. What Anthony's going Villa draw. I think it could be a draw. It's true. Southampton, Newcastle next.
Newcastle will thump them. And then, like Arsenal, everyone started. It's not funny anymore. Newcastle are in the top 4, and they look like they'll take a lot of dislodging from that top 4.
I know it's a bit weird to see how much they have improved. Really, I mean,
they play really sensible football.
Yeah, I mean, but Southampton can pull out a win at home. They're not that bad.
No, Newcastle will beat them.
I reckon that's going to be a draw. Anthony's gone Newcastle win. Just so you know, I do put these bets on. No one has won so far.
But you get a draw out of that.
Okay, so we've got you do skipping ahead. So West Ham Palace. You want that a draw?
I think so.
Draw at Palace. I think Palace will win that comfortably, to be fair. And then the big one. I'm actually quite looking for. I'm going to be at work, unfortunately, but Spurs versus Liverpool.
Well, I think quite a lot, confidence-wise, will be about what happens tonight. If Spurs win tonight, so they're through to the knockout stage of the Champions League, they'll feel quite buoyant. I mean, boy, when they came back against Bournemouth, I thought they were buried. And everyone's saying they don't turn up in the first half. But if after that turnaround against Bournemouth, if they can win tonight, I think they could beat Liverpool at home.
Oh, we're going Spurs. I've got a feeling Liverpool will win because this is what Liverpool do.
There would be 3 on the spin they'd lose if they did.
Yeah, I mean, how many have they lost so far? Anthony's gone Palace. I think that's a good call.
They lost to Brighton and they lost the last 2, so that's 3. And they lost to
us.
4 at least.
Yeah, Anthony's going Liverpool win. I'm going Liverpool win as well.
No, I'm going Spurs win.
So Sunday's looking like it's a good day. Sunday's going to be the day.
Yeah, it's a lock-in, isn't it?
I'm going. You
could watch all the way through. You could just not leave your TV from.
I've got work.
11:30, 12 until after 6 in the evening.
George is saying hello, mate. Thank you for watching, George. Big up yourself. I'm going Arsenal win, United win, Newcastle draw, Palace win, Liverpool win. FYI, that's what we're going with. And then on to the last point of the day. Everyone's favourite part of the show is Bovrils Bits. Yay! George says Spurs ain't winning. Big up yourself, George. I like that. Okay, so Bovrils Bits, for people who have not seen it, is when I just pick up some funny things that I've seen. Luckily, I get sent so much stuff over WhatsApp that I have loads to go by. This is really funny. Did you see this? This is what the Independent predicted to be the England starting 11 for the World Cup of 2022.
When was it? When did they predict that?
This is what I can't work out, right? It must have been a while ago because you got Jack Wilshere in there.
Yeah, it would be just over 10 years ago, maybe, because Zaha is 29. So,
but why would they? First of all, it was like, I'll tell you what we'll do.
Because Wilford played, I think, England under 16.
Oh, yeah, that's what they said. They said England 22 in 13. So this is what they predicted
9 years ago.
What was the bloody point, though? I mean,
when Wilf changed nationality, Jack Wilshere's game completely destroyed. I mean, God knows where he is now.
He's at Chelsea, no?
No. He's out at loan at somewhere.
Chuba Akpom. Classic.
Jordan
so
Ibe.
there's only one person in there that is in the squad, and who is it? Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw. But Chris Smalling's playing well.
Yeah, Smalling's might make the 55, but he's definitely not making
Jack Buckland is at Palace, but he's injured.
He's rubbish.
And he doesn't even make them. No, he isn't. I think he's quite good.
He's rubbish, mate. This made me laugh.
Hang on, who's the guy up front? Chumba
Akpon. He's played for Arsenal, I think.
Did he?
Yeah.
Never, can't remember him. Daniel Surrey. Well, he always had too much to say for himself, didn't he?
I think he plays for Millwall now, actually, Akpon.
Does he? Daniel Surrey. I mean, he was.
Yeah, he definitely played for Arsenal.
He was a Man City prospect to saver, and then he buggered off to Chelsea or somewhere with giving it all a big one. And
he plays for Middlesbrough now, Akpon.
Does he now? Okay.
This made me laugh, simply because this is Garth Brooks analysing the Arsenal game.
Garth Brooks.
And
isn't he a country and western singer?
Garth Brooks. What's it?
Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks is the guy with the cowboy hat and the stripy shirt.
That's who wrote this review. What's the best thing to say? This victory takes Arsenal back to the top of the league with 2 games to play before the World Cup break. With a bit of luck, that should break their momentum. Okay, Garth, don't worry. It's not going to break our momentum. You clearly do not want us to do well, but that did make me laugh. But wasn't he an ex-Spurs player?
Who?
Garth Brooks.
No, Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks, yes, he did. He was a striker player. He was good. He was a real good player.
Anthony says, here we want the Blackburn striker for 15 million, the Chilean lad. Yeah, what's that guy's name? He's good.
Breton Diaz.
Yeah, he's decent, mate. He's decent. I'd take him all day.
Everyone says he's decent, but he's only ever played in the Championship. Pookie or whatever at Norwich always scores a bag full in the Championship. Whenever he comes up, he didn't score at all.
That's very true. But, I mean, we are a good side, so who knows?
Been a few Championship heroes before who've not really matched it.
This made me laugh. We've had 7 seasons together. We've done everything except sleep together. I know him quite well. Does that mean they've done everything as in but have sex?
I think one of the best quotes was Kevin De Bruyne's wife said, sometimes she sat at the dinner table and she's thinking about, some salad with a dinner or, the salt and pepper, whatever. And then she turns and it's there and she didn't even see him pass it. Like he's reading her mind.
That's it. But I mean, surely she's a bit worried about him and Pep's relationship because, maybe he's got involved in there. You know what I mean? It's a funny old thing to say.
I've been looking at these new brands that Pep's been wearing. Is P for Pep? I guess it is.
Maybe. I mean, everyone's always said Pep's a really fashionable guy, but I've never quite rated what he wears.
Well, Arteta seems to copy him. They buy these really quite tight lycra-led trousers, don't they? So they can do all this bending and jumping around, but the trousers look as though they're suit trousers. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Most trousers are formal trousers like that. You'd split the whole back if you leapt around like Arteta and Pep. And they do the same leaping in the air and jumping about. I think they must have a very high lycra content in their trousers that they get.
Yeah. They pull it off, though. They're probably super skinny jeans that I wear those. They're
both super skinny blokes.
And finally, this is the last one. It just made me laugh. Dressing up as a trophy and going around scaring Spurs fans. It had to be done, didn't it? I don't know. My phone's kind of lighting up at the moment. Have Spurs? Oh no, Spurs have actually won. So I would have won.
What was the joke I saw for Halloween that said something like, "Guy walked into a fancy dress shop." And said he wanted to go to the fancy dress shop as Dracula. So they handed him a Liverpool shirt. And he said something like, "No, I want to be Count Dracula. I want to look like a count."
Very good, very good. So that brings us to the end of the show, Ian. It's been a pleasure having you back, mate. And we'll go again next week.
Yeah, so if it's a Monday, then that'll only be 13 days to go for the World Cup.
Actually, I am away next week, but I might be able to do it from Cornwall. So
we'll only have one more Premier League game to play this time next week.
And then it's the World Cup. And we will be doing special World Cup Mullet Show shows.
There's loads of Halloween gear and stuff in the shops, and then there's Christmas gear. I haven't seen much World Cup gear, have you?
I mean, I did see some in Sports Direct yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw this shirt.
All right.
So before we go, just one more minute to say about our sponsors. Global Mapping Surveys. If you want some architecture done, you check them out. If you want some laser scanning, monitoring, the link's in the description. Please check them out. And they're a great sponsor of our show. If you've liked what you've seen today, please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Thank you very much, Anthony.
Adam is into laser hair removal.
Yes, of course. That comes with the package. We're in Cornwall, Oliver. It will be Anthony in Mullion Cove. So
Mullet Cove?
Mullion, yeah.
Or Mullion.
Well, not Mullet.
Not Mullet Cove.
The mullet has gone.
It is.
But yeah, I'm hoping to do the show from Cornwall. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully the internet connection is good. Ian, it's been a pleasure as always.
Cheers.
This has been the Mullet Show. We will see you next week on the Full Time Sports Network. Good night.
Never give up.